Swagatam. Welcome, everybody. So good that you're here. Nice to see you. Nice to see some familiar faces and some unknown faces. Um, if you're not too shy, I always encourage people to put on their video. It just makes it so much more alive for all of us. I have it on gallery view the whole time, so I can see you. So it's almost like we're sitting in one room. Yeah. And it's already weird not being able to hear you. So I'd be I'd be grateful if I can at least see you. Oh wow. Great. CD Shakti, what a surprise. Aw, so good you're here. Sweet. Yay. So I know about half of the people who are here, and the ones I don't know yet, let me just introduce myself just quickly, just so you know, like maybe what kind of questions you can ask me during the session. So my name is Aleah Gandharvika, and I met Anandra in 2018, and I did the Heart of Sound teacher training twice in India and in Germany. And I've been chanting for well, not chanting. I've been singing for over 30 years. I started at the age of 6, my mom said. So, and at the age of 7, I was in choirs, and I was in all kinds of band projects and choirs and all that. So, singing has been sort of the through line in my whole life, like the one thing that was always there. So when it comes to that, any question is okay. Like I'm totally in my comfort zone when you ask me about singing. Um, I haven't been playing harmonium for too long, but I feel comfortable with it too. So any questions regarding that, I'm also happy to answer. And oh hey, hey Dagma, yay. Um, and we can also see where this journey takes us. Like I'll talk a little bit about the background of the mantra. I'll go through the pronunciation. I'm definitely a nerd when it comes to Sanskrit, so you can ask me questions there too. When it comes to the pronunciation, I'm not I'm not too familiar with the grammar yet. I'm still. Oh, you did. You're here too. Great. That's still a work in progress. Sanskrit grammar. So tonight, tonight's subject is the Shakti Shiva invocation, and I think it's so suitable. I didn't know that before, that we're so close to full moon and eclipse season. So it's like, whoa, like just perfect, isn't it? Very auspicious. So I feel very honored that our class can take place at such an auspicious time. Um, and the invocation we're dedicating this class to is about Shakti and Shiva, so potency, energy, and consciousness, in the most abstract sense, in a way, the most tantric way. Um, and I think the translation of this mantra, it's so sweet. So this mantra is from the Yajur Veda, and I heard it first from Pragnya Viera. She's a phenomenal kirtanier from the US. So if you ever want to check her out, she has a video of this mantra as well on YouTube. That's where I learned it. And she is a phenomenal singer. You can tell she was a soul singer before she entered the mantra scene. So she has all these ad libs. You either have fun with this or you be like really frustrated, just to warn you. Because I don't know any other invocation that has that many ad libs. And usually also to warn you beforehand as well, with my one-on-one students, I usually need 3 to 4 sessions to have this invocation down. So tonight is a start. Yeah, so we're in for something serious here. So she composed the melody of this invocation, and later I came across the translation of it when I did a course with Paul Muller Ortega. So the translation is by him, and it says, "Eternally dwelling in the lotus of my heart, I bow to the diet of Shakti and Shiva." And I think this is just so beautifully poetic. Yeah, and I feel honored to share this mantra with you tonight, and to have such a diverse group as well. Like, we have Heart of Sound students here tonight. We have some of my one-on-one students. We have people who will join our tantric training soon. So, and people from all over the world. So I'll see how I can do this. This is the first time I'm not teaching one-on-one on Zoom. so we'll see how this flows. Okay. So let's take a moment to simply receive the mantra. So what I will do is I will sing it once. And thank God Katie took some time to make a sound check with me. I really appreciate this. She showed up half an hour before class just to go through the optimization of the sound. So you just, close your eyes and find a comfortable seat and relax your whole body, and especially your jaw. Let it be really loose, and allow your face to be slack, like that of a sleeping baby. And take a few deep breaths to fully arrive in the moment. And if you like, you can envision this mantra to flow into you, as if your crown chakra, the top of your head, was opening up like a lotus. And the nectar of this mantra is pouring into your subtle body. Because blessings, that's what so many mantras are always about. And allow this blessing to fill your subtle body, and the vibration of the mantra to resonate through you. Vasantam Ritaya. bhavam bhavani sahitam namami bhavam bhavani sahitam namami bhavam bhavani sahitam namami. Maybe you can still feel the subtle vibration of the mantra, or maybe you are just aware of the silence inside of you. Maybe you are aware of other sounds inside of you in the form of thoughts or sensations, emotions. Whatever is there right now, whatever has been allowed to be there through the mantra, just let it be there without any judgment. And in your own time, you can float your eyes open. And now we'll get to know this mantra bit by bit. You know, it's always about a relationship. When we get to know a mantra better. So what I would like to do with you first is to go through the pronunciation, just so then we're like fully dialed in, you know. As Heart of Sound students, you know this well, but we have some people here who are not so familiar with the pronunciation. And it's also good to go over it again and again to solidify it. So what I would like you to do is to go into the chat window, because that way I can still see you rather than screen sharing, and we can go through the pronunciation together. And I'm just looking at the, oh yeah, thank you, Katie. Yeah, Pragna Vera. Yes. Um, okay, so do you all have the mantra open in the chat window? You did. It's quite at the beginning of the chat. Oh, maybe because you have it now. Okay, good. All right, everyone else as well. Perfect. Okay, and if there are ever any questions, please feel free to. Okay, still maybe because you joined us later, you did. Okay, Katie, maybe if you could post, like, can you paste it into the chat window again? That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll
If
do that.
okay, okay, perfect. So if there are ever any questions, feel free to just unmute you. You don't have to write into the chat window. You don't have to raise your hand. Just like let's just pretend we're all physically in one room. Just ask. Feel free. Okay, great.
Sorry, it's just coming.
Yeah, no worries. And thank you for doing this, Katie. Even though circumstances are not ideal. Great. Okay. So everyone can see it. Perfect. Yeah. Dagma, you can see it as well. Great. Right. So it's not a very long mantra. And we have some beautiful sounds in it. So let's look at the first word. Sada Vasantam. Here we have a bunch of dental sounds. So let me just run through that real quick for the ones who, or yeah, for the ones who just also from, who will watch the replay. So we're all in one boat. And for some of you, it's repetition. So the dental sound is produced by placing the tip of the tongue behind the upper front teeth. And then we have a so-called bliss point where a lot of nerve endings come together. So a lot of sounds like a lot of mantras have the dental sound. And it activates a bunch of nadis that are important that are just, it's just good to activate them for to feel like the effect of the mantra. So in this case, we have the dental sound sada with the first D. So if you can all place the tip of your tongue behind your upper front teeth. Does everyone have that? Yeah, just not. Okay, great. And then say sada. Sada. If you want me to check you, just unmute you. Unmute yourself. Like if you want to check if your sound is good, then always feel free. And we have so we have a long A, meaning it's a double count in comparison to short A. So we, sada. It's not sada, but sada. So there's also a like the stress is on the long A. Yeah, sada. Okay, great. And then vasantam. Let's say this all together. Vasantam. Vasantam. And here you see a dot above the M, which means it's an anuswara. And in that case, we place the tip of our tongue at the top, in the middle of the tip of our tongue at the top of our roof, the top of our mouth, the roof of our mouth. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, so it's the sound we most associate with Hindi, actually. The duh. That's how it would sound like if it was not an anuswara. So in this case, we only have the placement of the tongue at the roof of the mouth, but you don't actually hear much. It's a matter of energy direction, right? So because if we place the tongue there, the energy flows up rather than being sealed by the lips, right? Because if we say the without the tongue in that position, it just seals off the sound and the energy. And with the tongue there, it flows up, right? So does everyone have that point at the roof of the mouth? Yeah? Great. Okay, so let's say this this whole first word together. Sada vasantam. Yeah, great. Let's see who will be the first brave person to unmute themselves so I can actually hear something. Because I can only guess at this point how it actually sounds when you say it. Okay. And now we have an interesting word. Like here we're coming to the heart, right? The lotus heart. And we'll break it up a little bit because we have a vocalic R, and that it actually sounds very similar to the American R. We have two kinds of R's in the Sanskrit alphabet, and here it's very short and also it's like from the position it's also retroflex. So we have hridaya. Let's try this all together. Hridaya. Yeah. Does one of you want to be brave and I think I'm gonna keep nudging you until somebody makes the first move, because this one is tricky, and I want to make sure that at least one of you gets feels comfortable and confident with this one. Hridaya.
Hridaya.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Perfect. Okay. Hridaya.
Hridaya.
Great. Okay. And then we'll combine it with the rest. So it's Hridaya Ravinde.
Hridaya Vinde.
Hridaya Ravinde.
Achso, ich hab's Hridaya Ravinde.
Yeah, because here, yeah. Do you want to do it one more time?
Hridaya Ravinde.
Okay.
Das R ist halt anders, ne? Das zweite.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good
andere,
point,
yeah.
right? We have two different R's here. We have the vocalic R, that's the one with the dot underneath, and then we have the one without the dot, which is semi-vocal, and there the tongue only touches the ridge, actually, in this case, once. So there's one moment of contact with the upper palate, and that's the ravinde. Ravinde. Do you hear a difference between hrit and ra? Yeah, if I break it down, if I just I sort of bracket just the R moments, we have hrit and we have ra. Let's try this all together. Hrit. Hrit. Yeah, and ra. And the second one can be the most tricky one, right? Because it's also so close to the other R's we know, like the Spanish one, but there it's more movement. It's r, right? So the tongue moves more often. So that's kind of like where we default to, or we go to ra as a German speaking person, right? Which is more in the back of the mouth. But here it's sort of in between, so it's tricky. Ra. Can I hear one of you say that? Ra. Someone else who wants to be brave?
Ra.
Yeah, do one more time.
Ra.
Yeah, yeah. So you hear it's a bit softer, right? It's a bit softer than the other R's we might know. So thank you, Dagmar. I knew you would be the next brave one. Okay, so let's put this together. Hridaya Ravinde. Okay. Hridayaravinda. And the D, in case you haven't noticed yet, it's dental again, right? And both D's. So the D of the Hrit and of Vinde as well. Hridayaravinda. Yeah. So we have a little bit of tongue acrobatics here. And as far as I know, this is the advanced class. Right? Okay, great. Okay. Because this is a tricky word.
That doesn't necessarily mean that we're very advanced with our Sanskrit, though. Speaking for myself, anyway.
and it can be confusing. I mean, I'm just noticing this now. I'm because my current teacher, Christopher Harish Wallace, he's a Sanskritist. Like he has a PhD in Sanskrit, and he says things different from how I learned it from Anandra. So at some points, I'm like, I don't know what to do, you know? So if some things are confusing for you in this class, that's the reason. Because
I'll ask a question then,
please.
since you said that. For the Anusvara, probably all of the Heart of Sound students' understanding is that we take the whole of the tongue up onto the roof of the mouth, not the tip of the tongue up
The whole.
to the roof. Yeah, the
How
whole
do you do that?
tongue. The whole tongue just lifts up so that the whole surface of the tongue is in contact with the roof of the mouth on the
Okay. You must have a larger tongue than me.
Well, it's just like, I mean, you're not like, so I guess what you were saying was to put the tip of the tongue up. So you're not doing that movement of lifting the tip of the tongue up. It's just the whole tongue moves up gently, softly. It's not sort of a dramatic move. Can I get like a nod or a thumbs up from other Heart of Sound students that's what that's what they think too? But cool. Thanks, guys. But yeah, I mean, we're going with what Anandra has taught us.
Yeah.
You've done further study beyond that, and I'm certainly no expert. But yeah, so that's our understanding of the Anusvara, that you're just taking the whole tongue up to have gentle contact with the roof of the mouth to make the vibration go up. So we might do that.
Thank you for bringing this up, Katie. So whatever you feel more comfortable with, if you have a shorter tongue like me and only the tip reaches the top, that's okay too. And if the whole of your tongue can touch the roof of the mouth, perfect. Yeah. To make things more confusing, if Harish was here, he would probably throw in some grammar, because sometimes, I mean, just as a little side note, sometimes the Anusvara can nasalize depending on which, okay, you're familiar with that, depending on which consonant is followed by the Anusvara, right? So if it's for example, if it's a G, we have that in the case of Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha, right? It's not Om Gam, it's Om Gang, right? It's nasalized. So just to make things more confusing, if you ever come across that, just know it's to do with Sanskrit grammar. That's all.
I would say that a few of us are aware of that grammar, but it's not something that Anandra teaches in this course. That would be, she would say that would be your further study beyond what she's teaching. So yeah, we're probably not following all of the correct grammatical rules because we haven't actually learned them all, but kind of aware that exists. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay, let's say the first line together, and at the risk of it being a cacophony, I just want to see how it sounds like if you all unmute yourselves and give me a response. Like, I'll do the call, just speaking, and you give me a response, just so I have an idea of where you're at. Okay, great. So, Sada Vasantam Hridayaravinda. Now you.
Sada
Vasantam
Hridayaravinda.
Aww. It's just nectar in my ears. Let's do it one more time because it was so beautiful. Okay. Sada vasantam hridayara
Sada
Vasantam
Hridayara
Hridayaravinде.
Vinde.
Beautiful. Do you all feel comfortable with the first line?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, great. Martin, you look a bit... Hmm?
I'm always overconfident.
Okay, great.
I have a question, Aleah.
Yes, please.
Vasantam, it's like a D or it's a Vasantam?
It's a T, like the dental T, right? Is that what you mean?
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah, make sure you keep it a T. Yeah.
Vasantam.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And now we have an aspirated B. So our navel center will be activated here in a minute. So it's bhavam. Let's do this together. Bhavam. Yeah, so for the ones who are not familiar with this yet, oh, we have a dog joining the call. Hey. Yeah, and her owner, Julie. Hi, welcome, Julie. So for the ones who are not familiar with this yet, the sound is produced by letting out a puff of air, and at the same time your belly goes in. So if you want to practice this for yourself, so you place one hand on your belly and you place your other hand in a way that your middle finger touches the tip of your nose, and that way you are about an inch away from your lips. And then what you notice is when you say bhavam, a puff of air hits the palm of your hand, and at the same time your belly goes in as if you did kapalabhati, right? Let's try this all together. Bhavam, bhavam. Does everyone have that? Yeah, so it's explosive, and we it's okay to exaggerate it in the beginning. Like, it's better to do more than less in the beginning because it regulates itself. And one thing to look out for is that we don't turn the bha into a pa. You know, because of the explosive nature of the sound, it's easy to go to a more explosive consonant as well, right? So keep the B soft. Let's try this one more time. Bhavam. Bhavam. Yeah. Great. And here again, we have the anusvara at the end. So tongue at the roof of the mouth. Great. And the following word has the aspirated B as well. And we have two long vowels. So it's bhavani. Let's say this all together. Bhavani. Bhavani. Yeah, and the N again is dental, so tip of the tongue behind the upper front teeth. And then sahitam, that's an easy one. Again, dental T and anusvara at the end. Sahitam. Let's do this all together. Sahitam. Namami. Dental N. Namami. Great. I want to hear you guys. So if you want to unmute yourselves again, we'll do the call and response one more time. Okay, so bhavam, bhavani. Now you.
Bhavam.
Bhavam Bhavani.
Sahitam namami.
Sahitam
Namami.
Namami.
Wait, let's do the whole line in call and response. Bhavam bhavani. Sahitam namami.
Bhavam
Bhavani.
Sahitam Namami.
Wait. And because it's so much fun, let's do the whole mantra in call and response. Sada vasantam hridayaravinде bhavam bhavani sahitam namami. Now you.
Sada
Vasantam
Hridaya
Ravinde. Bhavam Bhavani
Bhavani.
Sahitam Namami.
Great. Do you guys have any questions at this point?
Aleah,
Mhm.
I see that there's a difference between the Bhavani and Sahitam, between the eye. Like one eye has a little thing on it and one doesn't. Can you explain the
Yeah.
difference between it?
Yeah, so the I of Bhavani is double count. It's a long vowel. So it's 2 counts. Bhavani. It's a long I. And the one of, yeah, exactly. And Sahitam is short. It's only 1 count. Sahitam.
Okay.
Great. So does everyone feel more or less comfortable about the pronunciation? Great. Yay. We got the anatomy down. Now we let's see. Let me just check time because otherwise I'll just go on forever. Like I'll go until we all have this mantra, and I'll forget about time. So I Okay, let's yeah, let's make it successively more. No, I'm not gonna put it that way. Okay, let's stay with the more or less simple part, and we'll go to the singing at the end. Okay, so what I'll do now is, who has a harmonium? Like who in the room has a harmonium with them? Katie has one. Martin, Rachel. So about
Me too.
and Sidhi and Celine. Okay, so about half of the people here have a harmonium. So I'll keep this basic, right? So the other half, Karina, you have one as well. Great. So the other half doesn't get bored. And you, the ones who don't have a harmonium right now, you can do this with the replay, right? So what I'll do is I'll just lower the camera so you see the harmonium. You see it upside down. That's the only drawback. But you see what I do, and thank God the accompaniment is pretty simple. So what we're doing now is we're laying the basics of this mantra. So we have a good sonic support, and then we go into the singing after that. Okay? So everyone ready? Great. So I hope my camera doesn't crash. That has happened before. Okay, so what we're starting with is a so-called B5, and B5 just simply means it's undefined. It's neither major nor minor. So if we apply that, it simply means that we don't play the middle note that would define the B as a minor or major. Like we just leave it out, and that way we have like this open sound. So we play B and F sharp. And this is the international scale. So the ones who are German, like this would be our H, right? Okay, that's the first chord. And you hold that for a long time. And it's most comfortable, I mean, depending on your hand always, but it's most comfortable if you use your middle finger for the F sharp. That's the first chord that we hold for the entire Sadava Santam Hrit. And then we change to E minor. So now it's defined, right? And you hear that in the quality of the sound as well. So here we play B, E, and G. And then we go back up to B5. And that's the first line of the mantra. We hold it, hold it, hold it. And then we define it. We turn it into a major chord when we sing Bhavani by adding the D. So far it's all pretty simple. You don't really have to do much. Your thumb stays in the same position the whole time until Bhavani. And then we go to A major, and here you have to switch. And the thing is, I mean, like, as in, like, move your fingers more. And the idea with the harmonium always is to have a continuous sound. So see which finger you can place in a way that you can do the change as smoothly as possible. So in my case, I can use the ring finger and place it on the E. And that way I can go to A major pretty quickly by then adding the first finger on the C sharp and on the A. And that brings me to A major when I sing Sahitam. And from here, also again, like, how can I make this smooth? To go back to B5, I can use my ring finger and place it on F sharp. And then go back to B5. Right? And then, like, when I go back to the first position, to the first chord, I usually go back using the middle finger. Okay, I see some question marks in some people's faces. Maybe this was too quick. Give me your questions. I could also just do it one more time a bit more slowly. What do you guys need? I'll just do it one more time more slowly, okay? Yeah, I see some nods. Okay. So, first chord, B5, meaning we place. Also, what would help me, guys, is if you can, the ones who have the harmonium, if you can show me where you're at, if I can see your fingers on the keyboard, because that way I can direct a little bit. Because now I just see your faces and I can only guess where you're at. Maybe you can lower your camera.
I
And
can't
this can.
I can't
Sorry?
lower the camera because I've got a laptop and that doesn't
Okay.
work.
Okay. Can you lift the harmonium?
No.
Not really. Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, we'll just try it this way. And I understand this can be overwhelming at first, like the whole chord thing, especially because I know, like, Anandra, she does a lot of raga-based kirtan, so it's a completely different system, right? And here we have the Western chord system, and it's like, because we play something different from what we sing, and it's just a bit more complicated. Okay. So let me do it one more time and look at what you guys are doing at the same time, like whoever lets me see whatever they're doing. Okay. All right, so we're starting with B5, meaning we have our thumb on B, right? And our middle finger on F sharp. So the ones with the harmonium, do you have that? Great. And when I play it, does it sound the same when you play it? Do we have the same sound? Just give me a little nod or something. Okay. Great. Perfect. Okay, so that's how we start. Sadavasantam hrid until there. And then when we sing hridai, also if we sing the ayaravinde, we change, as in we keep the thumb on the B, but we place the first finger on the E and the middle finger or the ring finger on the G. So that's E minor. Does everyone have that too? Great. Good. And then we go back to B5. Great. And now we define the B we turn it into a B major by adding the D. So we place our first finger on the D. Everyone have that? Good. And now it's a bit tricky because from B we need to go to A. So for A, we have, I'll do it backwards because that's how we actually place the fingers. So you place your ring finger on the D, on the E. I'll do it bit by bit. And then your first finger on the C sharp and your thumb on the A. And that's how you get to A. Does it sound the same when you do it? Good. We got it. And then we're going back to B5. Good. So it seems like all it needed was a little bit of repetition. And feel free to look at this tutorial a few more times and play along with it. And maybe just a little explanation. So whenever the chord is in capital letters, it means major. And when it's in what's the opposite of capital letter? Small letter, right? That's all you say. Großbuchstabe und Kleinbuchstabe. So if it's a small letter, it means it's minor, right? So the E here, it's E minor. That's why it's written small. And the B5 is major. That's why it's written in capital letters. Awesome. That's all you need to know, I think. And now it's practice. So what I'll do now is I'll combine the singing and the playing for you as a tutorial, and I'll slow it down, and I have the camera on the keyboard of the harmonium. And all you need to do is just watch. I mean, you can play along as well if you want. Okay. And have a look at the chat window to kind of okay, I'm just reading a message. Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Yay. Okay, have a look at the chat window to see to have like a visual reference of what's happening on the keyboard here on the harmonium. Okay, so starting with B5. Sada vasantam Santam Ritahia Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. How are you guys doing? Okay. As you see, we repeat this a few times. So it gives us an opportunity to, practice the chords over and over again. And it's not too hard. Like once we overcome like the initial difficulties, and I saw like the ones I could see, I was like, hey, cool, you're doing it. It's working. You got it. And the ones who I couldn't see, can you give me a little feedback of where you're at, if you need anything else to continue this on your own after this class?
Hi, Aleah. Can I ask?
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, good to
That's
hear
me.
you.
Yeah, it's a little early. Sorry, I'm not quite with the program.
I'm so happy you're with us, even though it's so early for you.
It's so beautiful. I wanted to ask the improvisation that you're doing between those phrases, is that your own interpretation, or are you able to, you were replicating what you heard when you originally researched this, or can you vary that in however you feel? What are you, how are you approaching that?
Yeah, well, my intention is to do it as close to how Pragnavera does it. I always try to keep close to the original version. So these ad libs, these ornamentations are hers. Yeah. And at the same time, I mean, I've taught this to many, many students, and some have come up with really beautiful variations. And I'm like, don't stop what you're doing. Like, keep going with your own flow. Yeah. So I say this to you too. Like now, like let's finish the musical part, like the instrumental part. So if there's any questions about this, now is the moment. And if not, let's dive right into the singing. Yeah, great. Okay, now comes the tricky part, but it's also the most beautiful. So let's try this, and I want to hear you guys. So we'll break it down a little bit, and as you might have noticed, this mantra, this invocation, is all about finding the right moment to breathe. You'll need it. You need a long breath for this one. So we're breaking it up a little bit, and we're starting with just sada. And I'll keep playing the harmonium. So we have, like, you know, as Anandra says, we have some water to swim in. And then I would like to hear you guys do the response, even though it will be a cacophony because of the delay of Zoom. But I just want to make sure you get the melody. All right, so we take a deep breath in. And then sada. Now you. Great. Please, all feel free to unmute yourselves. I heard about 4 people. If I really want to make sure you get the melody. I'll do call one more time. Sada. Now you. Yeah. I heard more of you, and from some of you, I think Zoom is kind of breaking it up a little bit. So if you can turn the original sound off. So like what's written on the screen is original sound off, and then I can hear you better. Right, Katie? Well, let's try. Okay. I'll do call one more time. You do response one more time. Sada. Great. Now we're talking. Now I can hear all of you. Beautiful. Great. So this is pretty simple. The sada is easy. And now we're going to vasantam. And here comes the first ad lib. So what's helpful is to take a deep breath in. First listen, I'll do the call, and then I'll ask you to do the response. So it's vasantam. Let's actually do this together because it's a bit more difficult. Deep breath in. Okay, now you. Okay, yeah, the ornamentation is tricky. Let's do that one more time together. Vasantam. Together. Now you.
Vasantam.
Okay, let's you all got the vasantam in itself, but let's just do the ornamentation. Let's sort of bracket that. So together. One more time together. Now just you. Yeah, much better. I can hear more confidence in the voices, and also like what if you look at Martin and Siddhi, Siddhi Shakti, what they're doing, it's really helpful if you add your hands. Like if you sort of make a movement of like how, so if you let's do this a cappella one more, like once together, like it really makes a difference in the singing if you can make a movement with your hands of what your voice is doing. So let's do the vasantam together. Vasantam. And your hand movement doesn't have to look the same as of the other people. What matters is that it sort of makes sense to you, makes sense to your own voice. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Yeah, really good. Now just you. Yeah, do you notice the difference? Okay, let's do it one more time. Together. Can you sing it?
Some quite horrible background was
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where it comes from. Can we check where it comes from? Because okay. And the one it was coming from, can you see what's maybe sometimes it can be as simple as turning your original sound off or on, if you can see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it does. Perfect. So let's all go on mute again and do the vasantam one more time together, and then you do the response. Okay, let's just make sure we're still in key. Okay. Vasantam. Now you. Yeah. Okay, half of you are still on mute, but from beforehand I could tell that it's getting there. Yeah. Do you feel confident enough to bring the two together, the Sada and Vasantam? Okay. All right. So deep breath in. Let's do this together. Sada. Another deep breath in. Vasantam. Now you. Great. Good. All right. Let's move on to Hritayara Vinde. This we can't break down so much. Sometimes we have to, like sometimes if we don't breathe enough, we break it after Hritaya, which is the heart. So I'll sing it, or let me actually see if I can break it down already. So Hritaya Vinde. No, ideally we keep it together. I was just like sort of trying in my mind, but here just make sure you take a deep breath and let's try it together. Okay. Hritaya Vinde. Great. One more time together. Hritaya Vinde. I'll do the call one more time. Hritaya Vinde. Together, and if you like with hands. Hritaya Vinde. Try it. Just you. I can't hear any one of you. Great. Do it again. You're on the right track. Maybe more of you. I know this is the tricky one. Yeah. Good. One more time. Good. So, sounds like you got it. And this is one of the most tricky parts of the mantra. So I would say we're definitely in the advanced class. Just to boost your egos a little bit.
I think the long A is very difficult. How long and how high, and that's a difficult one, I think. But
it is. It is, yeah. Yeah, because there we have all these. We have a lot of movement. And what I was going to say about this part as well is for some of you, there might be a natural break in your voice at that point. So without going into voice coaching too much, I just want to say stay soft in that point, so it's easy on your voice, right? And if you notice the break, just let it be. Like don't push your voice up or down. Just keep it soft. Yeah? Okay. So let's do the Hritayara Vinde one more time, and then we bring the two together.
Can I
Yeah,
ask
please.
something?
Yes.
I just noticed that when we sing all together, I get really confused because we're all at different. So for me, it's very hard to then remember the melody. Is it possible to first sing twice with you and then all together? Because I just lose it basically.
Yeah.
It sounds fun, but
okay. Okay. So
it's hard
what
to.
I can. Yeah, it's hard to distinguish like where you're at. I understand that. So what I'll do is I'll do the call more often, so you have the reference of the melody more often, because the moment we sing together, we have the delay happening, right? And when you sing, then there is no reference, but you learn really fast. I'm really astonished. Like we might break, like we might set up a record of learning this mantra sooner than in 3 or 4 hours. That's how long it usually takes. Okay, so I'll sing the call twice of the Hridayara Vinde, and then we sing it all together, and then you sing the response. Okay. Hridayara Vinde. I'll do it one more time. Hridayara Vinde. Now let's do it together. Now just you. Beautiful. Great. Now it gets simple again. Bhavam. All together. Bhavam. One more time. Bhavam. Now just you. Okay, great. You got this one. Bhavani. You either love this one or you hate it. Okay, I'll do it one more time. Bhavani. This is so typical Prajna Veda. And one thing that helped me, I mean, as in like when I was teaching it to my students, what helped them was imagine you're dribbling a ball, like you're playing basketball and you're dribbling. So it's like, yeah, so add your hand movement to make it easy for you. Okay, so let's try this together. Bhavani. Yeah, let's do it again. Bhavani. Okay, let me hear just you. Great. Wow. Do it one more time. Yeah, so it's Bhavani. Let's just do that. Oh, it's actually quite easy, right? Once we like extract it, it's like a slow vibrato, sorry. now let's add it to Bhavani again. I'll sing it one more time so you have the reference. Bhavani. Together. Bhavani. Now just you. Great. Good. And now it's simple again. Sahitam. Together. Sahitam. One more time. Sahitam. Now just you. One more time. Namami. Namami. Together. Namami. Again. Namami. Namami. Okay, one more time, just you. Good, good. And we sing the bhavam. We sing the second line of the mantra 3 times. So now in the second round, we have a slightly different melody. And don't worry, you don't have to memorize all this at once. I just, like, for today, it's good if I just hear that you get the melody. And then you keep on practicing at home. Right? Okay. So in the second round, we have... Now, hold on a sec. I have to, like, where are we? Bhavam. The bhavam is the same. So let's do this together. Bhavam.
Bhavam.
Okay. All of you?
Bhavam.
I got lost. Like with all this extraction and all this breaking down, what happens sometimes, I get lost and I lose the whole big picture. So let me zoom out for a second. Yeah. No, I'm missing the middle part. Okay. Sahitam namahami bhavam bhavani. Oh, I was confusing myself because I thought there were 3 repetitions, but there's only 2. I don't have it with numbers, and it doesn't matter how often I've played the mantra before. I still get lost sometimes. So there's only 2, thank God. Only 2 rounds. So for this one, the bhavam is the same, and then the bhavani is. Okay, bhavani. I do it one more time. Bhavani. A bit slower. So you notice it's the same thing she does over and over, right? Only at the end it gets a bit different, but Bhavani. And the one who the sound is coming from, can you check one more time if you can change something in your audio settings so we don't have the the noise. Okay.
Maybe hyper? The person not muted?
Yeah, if you can change your original sound and see if that makes a difference. It's usually on the left hand corner of the screen. And if it's not there, you can go to your audio settings, which is right next to the mute button. And there you can change it. Okay. Okay, let's go back to Bhavani. Let's try this together. Bhavani. Let's try it all together.
Bhavani.
Right, one more time. Bhavani. Okay, now just you. Great. Good. And then it's simple again. Sahitam. Same as we did before. Let's do it together. Sahitam. And the namami is the same as well. Namami.
Namami.
Great. I have a feeling I'm missing something, but let's just run through the whole thing together, call and response, and I'll find the missing piece. It seems too short and too simple. Okay. And we probably, let's see if we're still a key. Okay. Yay. Okay. And I know it's a lot. Like if your heads are steaming at this point, it's totally natural. We're like packing everything into this one lesson. Okay. So let's just take a deep breath just to let it all settle for a moment. Let's just take another deep breath. Okay. So call and response. Sada. Now you. Vasantam. Now you.
Vasantam.
Ritahya. missing? We're missing the repeat of the first line. Haha. Okay, so we have a little variation. Sada is the same. Let's do it together. Or let just you, because you have it. Because now we're going up a little bit. Vasantam. Together. Now just you. Okay, so you notice there's just a tiny difference in the Vaha. That's all that's different, right? Vasantam. Rest is the same. Yeah. Do you want to do one more time just to solidify it? Great, good. And then the Hridaravinda is the same. I'll do call. I'll do the call. Hridararavinde. Now you. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Just make sure, just a little pronunciation thingy here, that the hrit is, that the R is vocalic. So hrit, not hrit. So there's no, the tongue doesn't touch the mouth. It's hrit. Yeah, the r, if you remember from the mantra Purusha. Yeah. Okay, great. Right, we're going to the second line. Bhavam. Sahitam. Namami. Bhavam. Bhavani. Sahitam. Namami. Hey, I can tell you're getting into it. You're starting to feel it, like you're starting to feel the mantra. Beautiful. Yeah. I think there are 3 repetitions of the second line. I keep being amazed how this keeps happening. Like, you know, you can sing a mantra over and over, like 1,000 times, and still, like, something slips. Like you're teaching it, or you're on stage, and all of a sudden you're like, what was the word again? What was the chord again? It's like your brain just kind of pauses in that moment and you're like, I don't know. Okay, so let's actually do it with harmonium. And I think like once I hear the whole thing, I'll know what, like, where we're at. So and just try to ignore the delay. We do call and response. Sada Vasantam Kritahya Vasantam. Let's do that one more time. I sing it one more time. Vasantam. Now you. Kritahya Bhavam. Bhavani. Sahitam. Bhavam. Bhavani. Sahitam namami.
Sahitam
Namami.
Bhavam
Bhavam
Bhavani Sahitam
I can't hear you. Did you change something?
You can't hear what?
Now it's fine again, but I couldn't
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
Oh,
So
okay.
just a second. You repeat the second line 3 times. It's 2 times the same melody, and this third time is another melody. Is it right?
Yes,
Okay.
that was the missing piece. It was so simple,
Okay.
but I was like,
But it's always like that.
yeah.
When you don't do it in one package, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like also, trying to recite a poem. Like if you don't do it in one
Yeah.
flow, actually they used to have like a special system, like when they, because like in the oral tradition, when they passed. So when the guru
Mm-hmm.
passed on the verses to the disciple, like they would have a certain system of teaching so the disciple wouldn't get lost if he would have to start like at a different point of the verse.
Okay.
And I'd love to learn that. I like Harish, he mentioned it, like my teacher, he mentioned it once, and I have to ask him what that system is, because I think it would be so helpful
Mm-hmm.
in like learning verses and also learning like to chant mantras. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys, you're so quick, and you got this. Like from what I heard, and it sounded like you all had your microphone on. So yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Just
Yeah.
wondering if you've have you ever written out the notation of the melody in Sargam or in Western written notation at all?
That could be a great task for one of the Heart of Sound students. Yeah. Martin?
I could possibly be doing. I did a lot of orchestration at university, so that's kind of like used to be my world of or part of my world of notation. I think probably between me and Martin, maybe we could probably do that.
Yeah, we could do a project together.
Yeah, let's do
Great.
it sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you really do it, I'd be happy to see this. This must be like a whole, yeah. I'd love to see it in written form. Mm.
I think it would make it a lot easier to learn, so it's not based solely on memory of what you've done and then having to remember back. For the musicians in the group, which obviously not everyone is a musician and would be reading music or sorghum, but yeah, for those that would read one of the two, it could make learning it a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, this is just the beginning. If you watch the video of Pragnavera, the whole thing, I mean, this is just the invocation, and then she has the kirtan part of the mantra. So the whole you can do the whole thing for like 10, 15 minutes. And the kirtan part, it has all these like ornamentations too. So you can have a great time with this. Yeah. Awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we were able to share this and to chant this mantra together and get a feeling for it. And
so beautiful. Thank you so much. And to Katie for organizing the invitation. I'm sorry I have to kind of say goodbye now because I've got to get on with a few things this morning, but thank you so very much, and it's so great to see you.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. And also thank you for staying, even though like I think we advertise, or no, we didn't advertise, like we said the class would be an hour, which is just impossible.
Well,
so
it's very generous of you to give your time. Thank you, and lovely to meet you all.
Yeah,
I'm glad you could make it.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Yeah, and thank you to Anandra as well, who checked everything and said yes to everything, and and thank you. It was your idea, Katie, right? You saw the video and you were like, "Hey, can you come for a repertoire class?" How it was ages ago, but
yeah, I've heard you do this a few times, and every time it's just like really got me in the heart. And normally the second part of the mantra has stayed in my head, so I find myself singing it a lot, but I didn't like the first half hadn't stayed in my head. But yeah, I've heard you do it a few times, and then I think you posted a video on Facebook, and I was like, ooh, like I want to learn this, but yeah, maybe I could, if Anandra was cool with it and you wanted to, I could get you along and teach the rest of the students as well. So thank you so much, Aleah, for doing that for us. It's so nice that you've given us your time, and for the Heart of Sound students that are here, this will all be going up into our online course and the advanced course with the PDF of the written stuff, and I'll put in the links to Aleah performing this, and I'll try and find the other recording that you're referencing as well.
I'll send it to you because it's a bit tricky. Like, yeah, the way it's written on YouTube is it's not easy to find. I'll send it to you.
That would be great. So yeah, for the students, that'll all be in one place on the course when we get to that, and then I'll send you, Aleah, the link to this recording so that you can share it with your people. And everyone else who's on the call, if you're intrigued about any of the Heart of Sound stuff, I should probably just put a little plug in, and just check out heartofsound.in. And we have teacher training courses, we have a Sanskrit course, we have a Nada yoga course, there's a lot of free gifts. We've also got a service project of Mantras for Peace that's all volunteer run. Martin and I and Marla, who was here earlier, are all quite a big part of that. So yeah, check it all out, mantrasforpeace.com or heartofsound.in. And I also do the admin for Heart of Sound, so if you have any questions about any of the courses, you can send me an email at info@heartofsound.in, and I'll gladly help you out.
Yay. Yay, keep up the good work. Yeah, and I can always recommend the Heart of Sound courses, like from the bottom of my heart. I so loved being part of the kula, and I keep saying to Anandra, like, once it's possible to be with her in person again, I'll be the first one to sign up. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's just a matter of the whole online thing. I just can't do it. It's yeah, she knows me, so she understands. And yeah, I loved that time with her in India and also here in Germany. So if you want to know more, connect with her and with Katie. Thank you so much to all of
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you
Tia.
so much.
So much love and happy practicing. If any questions come up, please feel free to email me. I'll send that to Katie the way you can contact me the best. Yeah, and feel free. Anything that comes up, get in touch.